Hello folks, how's it going? I'll tell you what, turned my fucking stomach today. Seeing this on the Telegraph, John Bercow's US fame opens door to lucrative speaking tour after retirement. I honestly cannot believe how popular that odious little weasel, the poison dwarf, how popular he is in America. It does stagger me. Like, I do like how Americans are such nice people and they're interested in the British people's way of life and culture, and they're always nice to you. But the downside is that it makes them have regard for fucking capering apes like that fucking buffoon. He's just got no charisma, charm. There's nothing likeable about the little shit. And there's been a lot of criticism about him, deservedly so, because he completely broke the role. Like, nothing he did was in standing with hundreds of years of historical precedent. David Starkey said it best.
There are three things. The first is the role of the speaker. The role of the current speaker is a disgrace to the position. The Romans had a phrase, damnatio memoriae, that was visited on bad emperors. The only way the Commons will ever be put together again is if a resolution is passed which declares that he was not Speaker and not a single one of his decisions will ever be taken as precedent.
There you go. A little shit who has broken hundreds of years of precedent. Bear in mind, that guy is perhaps the most revered and respected constitutional historian in the UK. What that fucker doesn't know about the British parliamentary system isn't worth knowing. And he said that little fucker has just basically broken the role. They may as well set the Speaker's chair on fire if that odious little dwarf is allowed to retain the honour of being allowed to call himself an ex-speaker. They have to just expunge him from the records because he's just a walking abortion. He wants to spend some of his ridiculous expenses money on fucking having a rat to chew that thing off his face. That's a good line from Uncle Buck, if anyone remembers that one. Anyway, the thing that made me laugh about the story was not just how popular he is in the United States, but a list of some of the worst shit that he's got up to in his lengthy career. There's another good article. Rosa Prince, not mincing her words there. MPs get their revenge on the unspeakable John Bercow as Sir Lindsay Hoyle chosen for the Commons chair. Lindsay Hoyle, another MP who's a Labour fucker, so not ideal for me. But he's from Yorkshire, so he might be alright. There's no way he can be as bad as that walking gash bag that's just left. So we'll see what happens. But amusingly, the story's just about how while they were debating this, everyone who was nominated just talked shit about Brecow because he was such a twat. And obviously these are the people, his would-be successors, that know how much of a shit gibbon he was. It said Chris Bryant said he'd be an umpire and not a player because this little shit thought he was in charge. He calls himself a referee, but he was basically like an extra player for the team he liked. Harriet Harman said she would never stitch up deals that would affect the future of the country without consultations behind closed doors because the little cunt was off talking to EU officials on his own, like as if he's like the King of England or something. Eleanor Lang said she'd never say any more than needs to be said and deploring the bullying of common staff because the little fucking spiteful spineless dwarf, as soon as he got a piece of power, he was renowned for bullying common staff. Dame Rosie Winterton said that she'd not seek the limelight because he was a little narcissist prick who was never out the fucking paper. It says all not so oblique references to the crimes and misdemeanors of the man they sought to replace and damning indictments of his leadership. I hate him. If I could pick one bloke that's walked out of Parliament in the last 10 years to tie up in a Hessian sack and just beat it with a fucking giant dildo, it would be him. I hate the cunt. He's got the morals of a fucking sewer rat and the charisma of an angry rattlesnake. Nothing about the man is likeable at all. Anyway, these are the good ones. The notable controversies. So here's 6 notable controversies from Bercow's life. It said, following his election as Speaker in 2009, Bercow angered Tory MPs by revealing he was a supporter of the hunting ban to one of his constituents. The Speaker said he agreed hunting foxes to kill them was wrong, amid calls for the ban to be repealed. That's a controversial one, because I'm an animal lover. On the face of it, I don't really have any time for fox hunting, but, you know, it seems to be supported by the people that live in the communities that are affected by them. So I can't help but think it's just another one of those bourgeois, lefty, city boy twats who, lives in London or Manchester and has no fucking idea what they're talking about. It seems like it seems like if you're talking about steel erection or, coal mining, you should go to a colliery or Teesside or somewhere and ask them about it. Instead, The Guardian just goes to, like, middle class student unions in Cambridge or Oxford and asks them what they think about fucking fox hunting. Well, it doesn't really affect them, does it? Anyway, his wife was always in the spotlight as well, because she's a fucking raddled slut and all. She described the aphrodisiac effect of their life in the palace at Westminster. Said it was incredibly sexy. Miss Bercow also got the Speaker in trouble after he was spotted driving her sports car, which sports a bollocks to Brexit sticker. Bercow was criticised on numerous occasions for his perceived interference in Brexit. After admitting that he voted Remain, he was accused of not only bending the rules but breaking them by using a Commons procedure known as the S24 emergency debate to allow a successful move by pro-Remain MPs to force the Prime Minister to seek an extension. That was fucking outrageous. Passing laws willy-nilly just to force the Prime Minister to do shit that he doesn't want to do. You knew for a fact he'd be in there with this one, the expenses scandal, the little toad. He was spending... he's not rich as fuck anyway. He was spending our taxpayers' money to, £172 bill to get chauffeur driven to a conference just 0.7 miles from Parliament. He also spent £367 taking a car to Luton to deliver a speech about how MPs were restoring their reputation after the expenses scandal. So, mind-melting hypocrisy. I can't think of anything more hypocritical. That's as bad as, like, a preacher saying he hates fornication and homosexuality and drugs, and then getting caught bumming a rent boy whilst sniffing coke off another one's cock. Like, that is unbelievable. 5 was a taxpayer-funded £37,000 portrait of the Speaker. Unbelievable, isn't it? Accusations of vanity. What about vanity that beggars fucking belief? God, 37 grand to pay for a fucking portrait of him. That should be the first one on the fire when the revolution comes. And also criticised for voicing his opinion that the US President Donald Trump might address Parliament. He's just a fucking twat. Sir Lindsay will prove a breath of fresh air. Yeah, definitely will. I'm sure I can find a dozen more reasons why he's an absolute thunder cunt, but I think we'll leave it at 6. I thought that was a good article. Oh yeah, and just to finish up, here's the initial piece that stunned me, if anyone wants to know. I'll put it in the link. I'll put it in the link so everyone can downvote it, because it's laughably bad. And and upvote my comment, because I obviously left one. It's this poison fucking dwarf is a slippy little weasel that has completely ruined the role and changed hundreds of years of precedent with his arrogance and hubris. He must be declared a rogue. His position was not that of the Speaker, and he should be expunged from the history books so we can actually keep the fucking job moving forwards. Yes, and if it wasn't a public forum, I'd have said something a bit more colourful, like we should place him in a sack and beat him senseless with sticks and then set it on fire. But you get in trouble for saying things like that, because that's, even if you're taking the piss, you know what they're like these days. 60 minutes will have you for incitement of violence or something. But this made me laugh. Just listen to the voiceover here.
Paraphrase a Brexit tabloid headline I saw today. What the hell happens now?
What the hell happens now? Well,
he is a honking little creature, isn't he? Just look at him. He's got a proper hairy nose and a fucking carbuncle on his head. And he just... and teeth like a fucking witch doctor's necklace. Gopping little creature he is. Oh.
The truth of the matter is I don't know, and I think anybody who predicts with alacrity the outcome of the Brexit saga is either an extraordinarily sophisticated person or a rank fool.
Order.
Order!
John Bercow is the Speaker of Parliament, which traditionally has been sort of a referee's role just to make sure that a debate plays out and the trains run on time. He's very colorful. He's become a YouTube star. I think Bercow's as surprised as anyone that he's become this viral, this social media phenomenon, and also this...
See why they're so nice about him? I don't think anyone in England would use such flowery language to describe him. At best you'd say, oh, he's a good speaker, because you're a rank partisan from the Labour Party and the Remain camp. But everybody else would just say, he's just a charmless little shit. I'm sick of hearing about him. He's staggeringly hypocritical, and he's an absolute throbber, for want of a better word. I just hope he vanishes off the face of the earth. Now that he's finally gone, crawls back into his fucking hobbit hole, and then an Uruk-hai pulls him limb from limb and feeds him to the fucking Nazgul. Anyway, that's him, Bercow. What a penis. You will not be missed, John.